Good morning and welcome to the Camnet Community Breakfast Show today. I am your host and I will be led co-host Alex. Very interesting topic for you. Yesterday we were talking about the Europe. Today we are talking about money-making schemes. Ponzi money-making schemes. We have online speculation schemes, and we have all those things where people make quick money. What is your thought on that? We're going to open the phone lines when we begin the discussion as we seek your views over these things. Should they be allowed? Should they be banned? Are there a solution to the mass youth unemployment in the country? What is your thought on quick money-making good for economy? So we will expect your interaction as we get to talk about quick money-making schemes later. But for now, let's have a little stretch to start our productive Tuesday.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Buzz, and this is Isaac Matsa. I hope you had a great night, and let's do the workout together. So today is going to be very basic, and if you've noticed, there have been some 25 push-ups going around social media. Some people accepting the challenge. We're going to do 25 push-ups as well, but in our own special way. Let's do a warm-up now. Let's go. We're going to do a warm-up, and then later on we're going to do the push-ups. So let's do a warm-up quickly. A warm-up phase. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you had a great night. Wake up your kids. Let's do it together. Let's do a warm-up, marching. Then we're going to do push-ups. Let's go. Keep going. And back to marching. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. 25 push-ups we're going to do today. Tell your hubby it's doable. Tell your wife it's doable. Let's go. Easy jumping. Just like that. Stay at it. All right. Okay, I guess your body should be warm by now. Your breathing rate has to change if you did the right way. 25 push-ups. I'm going to break it down in 5 fives, okay? So let's go. The first push-ups. Very easy. You will kneel down, cross your legs, and go down. 5 of them. Very easy. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the first set. We've got 20 more to go. Let's go. Second push-up. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 15 more to go. That's 10. We're doing a 25 push-up challenge. I'm going to change now. 5 more. 5. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 20. If you noticed, I did double. 5 more to go. Last 5. Then we're done with the push-up. Okay. Here you go. 5 only. Go down with a tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, that's the challenge you had today. 25 push-ups, and let's start winding now. March, 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 Okay, that's it for today. I hope you enjoy the push-ups. This is Isaac Matza signing out. I'm going to see you next time. Thank you.
Well, I hope you had a wonderful stretch there. Well, I certainly did. And that will help us all have a productive Tuesday. What a way to start our productive Tuesday today, 25th January 2021. And we'll be, like I said earlier, we're going to be talking about quick money schemes. So there are two separate things. There's betting, which is legal, by the way, in Zambia. If you do not know, betting is legal. It's a legal way of making money. But then on the flip side of this, we have online money circulation schemes where people make donations to each other. They say it is a donation, but actually it is more like an illegal way of village banking. And just a few months ago, last year, we had a situation where a group of about 3,000 people were actually swindled out of their money, amounting to about 1 million kwacha. We followed up that story with the police. And so this was from two online platforms called GoLike and Itesco. And so when we followed up the story with PACRA, they said GoLike was actually registered under PACRA, and they said while it is a registered business, it is not part of their mandate to follow up what the business does. Their mandate ends at just registering businesses if they provide all the necessary things. So we're going to delve deeper into that. What do you think about money circulation schemes in general? Should they be banned? And so just before we go into that, we're going to just take a look at COVID-19 statistics for yesterday. That is 24th January 2022, to let us know where the country stands in terms of COVID. So this is from the Ministry of Health. So as of yesterday, 24th January 2022, we had 294 confirmed COVID cases out of 2,119. We had 1,341 recoveries. We had 3,867 vaccinations of dose 1. And then we have 5,457 fully vaccinated. And we have 91 people who received the booster vaccine. We had 2 COVID-19 deaths, and we had 3 COVID-19 associated deaths. And we have a total of active cases of 5,439. Also, we have those currently admitted in hospitals. We have 114, and we have those under community management standing at 5,325. So those are COVID-19 statistics as of yesterday, 24th January 2022. And so now we'll just take a look at zooming the headlines. So yesterday we have been seeing this story where there's this old woman from Kasupe in Lusaka West. She has been she was in need of help. So I have been following up that story since last year. So this woman was allegedly abandoned by her family on witchcraft allegations. When I talked to her family members last year, I talked to one of her family members who is actually a teacher here in Lusaka, and the family made all those allegations, but then we saw a medical doctor coming in talking about issues like dementia. We also saw the clergy coming in condemning the act. And so this woman has been really sick, especially after the onset of the rain season, because she is asthmatic. And so after we aired her story, the district commissioner for Chilanga, Mr. David Chelengi, came on board, as well as Mr. Tungenenge Nechinoya, Kasupe Ward Councillor. They came on board and organized help for her. So as of yesterday, when we went there, we found they have built for her a tent. They also gave her a number of items just to help her. So before we delve deeper into that story, just take a look at that story, and we'll be back to discuss it in detail. After over 3 years of living in this shack, come rain or shine, Tisatenji Band, an old woman of Kasupe area in Lusaka West, has finally received help after her story was aired on Camnet News. She has been living in this shack after allegedly being abandoned by her family on witchcraft allegations. The old woman, who only remembers that she was born during the time of Harimwanga Nkumbula, was at the verge of death, especially after the onset of the rain season, due to her asthmatic condition. Her story, however, caught the attention of civic leaders within Chilanga district, among them the district commissioner and the area councillor, who began organizing help for her. Kasupe Ward Councillor Mr. Tungenenge Nechinoya says the woman has been assisted with a tent, blankets, mealie meal which will be given on a monthly basis, as well as other items valued at about 1,200 kwacha. He asked that the community also contributed a separate amount of 600 kwacha, while stating that the tent is only temporal as they try to find her permanent residence.
This is not a permanent solution per se. It is just a solution in the interim, because we need to get hold of family members to ascertain the true ownership of this land so that we can build a house, also a toilet. But as also when we engage family members, we need to see how best we can look after her, either to take her to the old-aged home in Matero. Before even doing that, she needs to go for a review so that we are certain how bad the asthma is.
The old woman has expressed her gratitude.
Kairi nenzola la umuntu sakata lomba cyose lomba tangizo iboma yani cyose omulomba yanika mwala mabu paliye kininga kambi nenongo wonga kuti zikomo kwambiri akansera niwonga zikomo kwa kansera niwonga zikomo kwa boma amenso wa kansera paliye paliposi muninga pyolele mukuonga nongoti zikomo wonse.
The councillor further says she has been registered for social cash transfer and will be receiving a monthly allowance. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka. So there you have it. That is a story from the old woman. As you can see, she has received interim help, which means this is just help in its initial stages. So according to the area councillor, they're saying this is just an immediate mitigation measure for her while they find her a permanent solution. And on the set, I have been joined by my co-host, Alex Chimba. Alex, how are you this morning?
I'm fine. Good morning, Zipporah. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You found I've done the morning boost again even today, so I'll be enjoying.
By virtue of me running, it's a morning boost.
It's a morning boost.
Yeah, it's a morning boost. I'm glad to be on set with you, Zipporah, as always. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, just say hi to our viewers.
Hi, viewers. It's your host, Alex Chimba here, and we hope to have a good time together, analyzing the stories that made headlines on yesterday's bulletin, and also diving into our main topic of today. You might be aware we'll be joined by the Ward Councillor for Kalingalinga Ward 6, Mr. Mukubesa Nyoni, who will be helping us to discuss the topic that we've prepared for today. So indeed, it's a great time to be here together and discuss these issues.
And Alex, you have seen that story from Kasupe. What is your thought on that story? For
me, when I was watching the story, it's the moment where the councillor had to share a meal with the old woman. That was quite moving for me. I loved the gesture, really. And also, just to dive into the story itself, I've actually assisted you once when we visited that place before the help came through for the old woman. And it was really a bad look at the way she was living in that house of ours. You can't even, I don't know if it can even qualify to be called a house, really. And when I was doing the camera for you, I could even see that the woman literally had to share the bed with the small dog that was there, which was really moving. You had just to chase the dogs outside the house, meaning that the life for her was really hard. And these are situations that we have out there in our communities. You know, whenever our parents get to grow to that extent, there is really a bit of negligence from the family, so to say, and you have them just being carelessly kept like that. But it's a good thing that now help has come through for her. It's life-changing for our life.
Yeah, and that's one thing maybe that the church should really talk about, the breakdown of family bonds in today's society. If you compare in the 1990s and maybe that time, you find that it's families were closer, because even now, if you just look now, the family has more like become smaller. It's more about the nuclear family, mother, father, children.
Exactly, yeah.
And these
extended
relatives do not really seem to be like connected to the family and all that. So maybe That's something that the church would really talk about in terms of keeping family bonds.
Apparently, we can't even tell how old she is because she couldn't.
She's very old.
Yeah, she's very old.
Probably 1940s, somewhere there.
Yes, she only remembers Harry Kumbo as a tracing point, you know.
Yeah.
So it's quite hard to even know.
And you could see last time she was just coughing. You remember how you just asked her a word. Yeah. She just says one word, she coughs throughout. But yesterday, she was really happy.
I could see.
She was talkative yesterday when we went there. She was really
very active. Even the mobility was quite active. You could see how she's moving up and down and just trying to prepare a meal for the council. I don't know, is she the one who prepared that meal?
She cooked the meal. She has already. She's better now. And they were saying they're going to take her for a checkup in terms of asthma, just to see how she is, because she was just living in the cold and all that.
Exactly. Wow. That's quite something that we are happy as a station to start with, because we've been following up through you, Madam. We started this story, and it's good to have a closure.
The time when they probably find for her a permanent residence, whether building for her house, and because they were saying they're trying to identify the true ownership of that land where she is, because the initial story is that her elder sister was staying there at that farm. It was a white man's farm, and she was a caretaker, and she was living with her. But when she got married, she went to Eastern Province, left her there, and all that. So the after because they're saying they can't use government resources to build a house there. They do not know the true ownership of the land. So first they have to determine who's the owner of the land and all that, so that if it's possible to find for her maybe some other land, they can build a permanent home. Because the news is that she's been kind of resistant to go to an old people's home. She does not really want to go to an old people's home.
Oh, okay.
So they're trying to find for a permanent solution.
Yeah, it's strange that some these odd parents really don't want to.
I think she's just fond of the area. Imagine if she's been living there for years and years and years. If they say white people's farms, that was probably maybe a long time ago, Alex. Maybe it was the 70s, who knows?
Yeah. But would you want really your odd, maybe your grandmother to be taken to old people's home, or you'd rather keep her on your?
I think if the family is able, it's better they keep the person. I'm not really for the job, nursing homes and all that, but in the event that, for example, we've seen that there are some allegations that no, this woman talks to herself, so it seems like there may be some resistance from the family and all that. So in that case, it depends on the situation, really.
Okay.
So follow up until the very, very end when she finally has a permanent place. Yeah.
So yesterday, Zipporah, you may recall that we started a story that was quite interesting. That is concerning the rotten chicken, the selling of the rotten chicken to most women in, is it Soweto? Soweto market, some are supplying other markets as well. So this story has actually has built up to an extent where, in this case, our reporter, Blessings Chakwila, actually made efforts to actually visit the owner, the company, which is called Happy Brothers Farm. So when she reached there, she tried to engage the company owner, but apparently the company owner, a Chinese national, couldn't hold a conversation with her and couldn't even attend to her. And we hear off record that she was even chased by the dogs there, because they happen to have very big dogs. But we don't know to what extent it was bad, if she ran away or she was scared. But our interest really is about what people are selling out there. Like we had a conversation with our viewers yesterday. We were trying just to establish how much damage, this company could make to its clients in terms of selling rotten chickens. And so we have a build-up to this story. This reporter has been following it up to a point where she interacted with some of the buyers of this chicken. So we can have a look on this story, and then we can dive into it like in detail when you come back. Stay tuned.
Sunday, 23rd January 2022, Camnet TV aired a story of 5 Chinese poultry farms who are allegedly selling rotten chickens to women across Lusaka. One of them was allegedly identified as Happy Brothers. The 5 were found abrogating the Public Health Act that states that chickens that die on their own are supposed to be disposed of by legally silenced entity. Today, Camnet caught up with some women who've been buying rotten chicken from the 5 Chinese poultry farms and are seeking compensation.
Mwatinazodera zankoku zati site mwatimabwerera ezata manda wina ngoyu samvera bwana ya bati aenda but samvera bwana batazikosereja she solo nkuko la bwapa saini na munyamulira zonse toto pamoja za 69 kangeza kwa 700 uinjeza pe so utenze kaida makapepi kama nyakana 1 week amwaso tumela tikulisa pamoja so kwenda sanga kwanisi.
Those interviewed by Camnet News say they feel cheated and misled.
Chinese side. So my result kind take my dog, kind of taking the my tunaenda kutapeza sadi kuliko. Tunampeza mchinese bena na tifisha. Ati ngatenga mimi hao bantu bana kuza mitindo ngoze ni drama mkawa letu wakabweli. So tunaona tumira phone wakansela tunawaza wakansela so hivi nipana na tunaki. Za kupasa ni kansi mundu atakashita nakakupelekeni. Akakupenyeza.
This reporter took a step further, seeking audience with one of the allegedly 5 farms called Happy Brothers, who denied an interview.
No, I don't have time. And you want next time?
Sorry? You don't even want to hear what I want to say?
I'm busy. I'm no time.
You're busy. Like you don't want to hear why I have come.
You're dangerous. This talk, you know me, sir?
They're dangerous.
Covers.
This reporter is still following up this story. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Welcome back to our breakfast show. In case you're just joining us, we've been discussing the stories that made headlines in yesterday's bulletin, and one of them has to do with the rotten chickens that were being sold to clients by Happy Brothers Farm. So Zipporah, what are your takeaways from that conversation that Blessings Chakwila engaged with the owner?
Yeah, it shows maybe a lack of interest in conversing.
Yeah.
And we went there yesterday. I was actually with her in the vehicle at the time of going there. And when you just reached there at the gate, when I just saw Camnet TV, those people, the same workers, just went there to fill the gates. Like, what do you want? What do you come? Like, standing at the gate, yes. So it's like a small gate, like holding this side and that side, so that you shouldn't enter. What do you want?
How did you manage to access the company?
No, they actually went to alert the man. I think that's one of the farm managers. The guy you saw in the paper sheet.
Oh.
One of the farm managers, he came, then Blessings told him what we were there for, and he led us to that man. He led the crew to that man, and that's what happened and all that. So there were actually dangerous dogs on that farm.
Oh, so you are actually the prime witness.
Yeah, but I think that was a very bad reception.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember, the last
did
time
they release them intentionally, or they were
I think
locked
they just
up?
roam. They just roam around. Anyway, I'm sure Blessings one who can tell us best what she feels. If she felt it was meant to attack her, or and then that's quite a different reception. Remember last time we were doing a similar story though in the construction, timber, something like that.
Yes.
And you find that for that Chinese company, they were actually willing to talk. They're the ones who even called the station.
When they saw the story, they actually came.
Yes, when they saw the story, they actually called saying, "No, want to clarify. This is what happened. This is what happened." They were very receptive, if you remember. They talked about. Actually, they called us like twice, saying, "We want to talk about it. Want to clear our name." This. But you find that's the very opposite. What happened yesterday? Saying, "I'm busy." I mean, how busy can you be if you are being accused of selling rotten chickens, Alex?
And he was almost running away, like just wanting to go fast.
If I was being accused of selling rotten chickens, I would want to speak and clear my name, or maybe
exactly. He wasn't willing.
So that's something that the Ministry of Labour has to look into. The Consumer Protection Unit as well, they have to look into, and just to maybe investigate. Okay, these are allegations. Okay, we have not yet established. They have to investigate and find out, is this what is happening, and that and take necessary action to send a strong message to others who may want to do the same.
Exactly. But have you noticed the trend, really, the employer-employee relationship with the Chinese nation? I don't know. Maybe it's just me being a bit judgmental, but I've noticed a number of workers reporting, if not workers, clients of these companies. Would there be a certain trait that these businesses come with.
No, something that maybe that's something which they have to investigate.
Yeah.
How these people conducting business.
Yeah, because if not timber, then it's construction, then it is, you know, metal industry, then it's chicken that like we have seen. So me have two takeaways. Like it's either they're dominating most businesses or they have just this trait. But anyways, where am I? Yeah,
and so
it has to be investigated.
Alex, we have the money markets.
Yeah.
And so what do we have in today's money market?
Well, you help me just...
Okay, so for today's money market, we have the euro, which is buying at 18 kwacha, 89 ngwe, selling at 19 kwacha, 26 ngwe. We have the Great British Pound, which is buying at 23 kwacha, 48 ngwe, selling at 23 kwacha, 95 ngwe. We have the South African Rand, which is buying at 1 kwacha, 14 ngwe, selling at 1 kwacha, 16 ngwe. The United States dollar buying at 17 kwacha, 42 ngwe, selling at 17 kwacha, 77 ngwe. And so Alex, we have seen again it's still on 17.
Yeah, it has maintained 17 kwacha.
And as of last week, there were concerns about the increase in the price of some commodities, such as mealie meal, if you remember.
Yes, from 140 to 145, somewhat for 150. Like I did a check on some residents in Chawama who actually lamented over the same, to say, okay, why this price change in a very shortest period of time? Because they used to buy someone 140, and now
but
it's...
most people are attributing that to the removal of fuel subsidies.
Yeah, there's
maybe
a correlation.
It could be fuel subsidies, or maybe it could be the dollar.
Yeah, logically thinking, there's a correlation between the fuel pricing and also the commodity prices, because we're talking of transportation here. The millers have to transport, the farmers have to transport. They use this mode of transport. So meaning, if the fuel have been hiked, even the prices are expected to go high. But I don't know if it's just me. Maybe just another thought. The bus drivers and the conductors are quite a bit lenient this time.
Lenient? How?
Yeah, like I've maintained a bit of the same price, negotiating with them, like from here.
Route? Because
Okay, let's say Kablonga.
Mutendere route, they're very rude.
Serious?
This morning you're shouting at a woman from Mutendere Kablonga. That time people used to pay 5 kwacha. It's halfway and not reaching Chilenga.
The problem comes when you don't have a changed note. So you have maybe a 50 kwacha and then you ask for 5 kwacha. Obviously, the guy will be like, you can't tell me you don't have money when you have this
but
amount.
Budget for the month.
They don't get that. But what I'm trying to say is, I don't know if it's just happening to me. Talk of Kablonga more, Chilenje, for instance. We used, before the hike, we used to have 5 kwacha. And people have maintained
5 kwacha.
5 kwacha. So I'm like, is it just this route? Or maybe
it's just that route. If we Mutendere Kablonga route, they're going to leave you if you go to 5 kwacha. Although it's just half, they're going to leave you. You should have a 7 kwacha minimum.
Moreover, Kablonga Chilenje compared to Kablonga Mtendere, we're talking of Friday's corner. It's just a short distance. Or no, just Mtendere from
market.
Maybe it's anyway, the type of people, but
and
yeah.
So in March, we're also expected to see, is it the increase in electricity
tariffs?
And I'm sure maybe next week we can have maybe someone from their school to explain to us what this will mean on an individual level. I'm sure next week we can, just to break it down for us. We've seen the removal of fuel subsidies. What about electricity? What will it mean? Will it increase production costs? And I'm sure that's something that our community out there would like to know. Exactly,
especially that they're directly affected by the pricings. They'll be able to actually ask questions when you get through to ZESCO utility company. So basically, those are the things that actually we're discussing this morning. And just back to our story of the chickens. So some women have actually demanded for compensation, accusing Happy Brothers of using them as an accessory to destroy people's health. That excuse, really, like they are used. Like, okay,
or they feel like middlemen.
Yeah.
They buy, they do not know.
Now the way it sounds, it's like, okay, I want to destroy Zipporah's.
I think it's intention.
Yes. So go. I'll use you as a mean to go and destroy the forest. But anyway, it's something that they are disappointed really with the company having to sell them something that is of low standard. So basically, those are the things that we are discussing. And we would love really to have your comments from you, our viewers, on this issue, just to continue with what we are looking at today in our headline review. Two stories really of the old woman who actually had received help yesterday by the councillor, by the government through the office of the councillor, and also continuing the build-up of the story of happy brothers who have been selling rotten chicken to their clients. What would be your view really on these two stories?
Yes, definitely. And so, Alex, today we'll also be talking. Okay, so just now we're going to open the phone lines as we get ready to discuss our main topic. We'll be joined by our guest at 8 hours in Samkuvesa Noni Kalingalinga Ward 6 Councillor. And so basically we're talking about quick money making schemes in Zambia. Like I was telling our viewers earlier, Alex, before you joined me, I was saying there is a difference. So there are two things involved in quick money schemes. There's betting, which is legal. Then there are these online money circulation schemes. We have different types of online money circulation schemes which are actually not legal.
For sure.
They are not legal.
They're
And
scams.
we've seen maybe some of these, some admins of these groups recently, they got arrested.
Oh, yeah.
There are some admins of these groups recently got arrested. So this is where, allegedly, where you have maybe some people being told to contribute money in the hope that the money will double maybe after 6 months. And then maybe in some cases you find that at the end of the day, you keep putting, you get your money, then you'll be motivated to put some more and all that. More like gambling,
Yes.
I can say.
Yes, it is actually.
You put some more, you're motivated. Oh, I put 500, I got 1,000 after some time. Let me put 2 pin, I get. And on the day you put 10 pin, that money will go for good.
I don't know if you've had a direct experience to that, but me, I remember one of my final years at the university where this thing which really shook the whole entire Unza, where you, I think even the whole country, if not so, where you had to contribute only 100 kwacha note and then you expect 600. I don't know if you've heard of that. Yes, just 100 kwacha, you have a 600 in return. Ha!
And people okay,
it was quite something.
So views out there
yeah,
to think about these money making schemes. Should they be banned altogether? Is it helping? Are they helping maybe to solve the problem of mass youth unemployment? What basically is your thought on money making schemes in Zambia?
Exactly. We have had people really being victimized of this vice. Especially, I don't know how they develop, but this systems seems very convincing. Like they are really convincing to people who actually use them. Even if you were just to be exposed to one of the system, you'll be like, let me play. Because they seem so real, you know? They seem so real. They'll tell you things, easy money, and all that. And that's what people want to hear, really. I don't know where this attitude has come from, where you just want to make really quick money. But it would be better if we can have views from our viewers on how best this thing can be handled. We've seen the scams also in terms of the mobile money. These people are just texting randomly to say, you've received this amount, and then just a minute they'll call you to say, have you seen this this text? Sorry, I sent directly by mistake, so please refund me the money. You know, so if you're not smart enough or something, you'll be convinced to say this is coming from the Airtel. But in actual sense, it's just a direct text from a strange number.
They have actually been warning about these money, these mobile money schemes. I remember about 3 weeks ago, the Minister of Technology and Science, Mr. Felix Mutati, was saying they actually are finding ways of ending some of these mobile money schemes. So they're closing in on the criminals. In other words, they're going to use technology to close in on the criminals that have started using mobile money. And if you see, if you dial these service providers, if you dial 111 on these service providers, you find that maybe as they're waiting to talk to the attendant, phone attendant, you find that they're being warned about all these schemes, and I think that's a good way.
Yeah, it is. And actually, there is this commentary on the same impact of the scams that we're having today on the mobile money systems. They are saying to say it's gonna affect the mobile money system really bad because people will lose confidence in it. You'll be thinking, let me just go to Zanaco or to any, you know, commended bank rather than using Airtel Money or MTN. Scared to say people will actually get your money or something.
But those things exist as well in banks. I don't know if you've ever heard of bank cloning, card cloning. Oh yeah. So it's just, you have to be careful everywhere. People are looking for ways to make quick money these days. There are those issues whereby card cloning, where they say always make sure you hide your PIN as you're entering, because you find that you put your card there, somebody is watching, they've seen you enter the PIN. As soon as you leave, they'll put maybe another card there, enter a password. They're not to duplicate cards in short. Yes. As long as they have your PIN, they'll duplicate your card.
Yeah, I've seen one actually doing that. I don't know why they even allowed, the Facebook guys even allowed that video to circulate, where they could actually
I'm sure.
replicate the same card from just a special paper and what's this, some sort of Vaseline or something, applying on it, on top of it, and it comes out like just a real card. Someone had to use it. Yeah, and you'll be like, people are really, you know, craving for money out there.
And yeah. Alex, you've been covering Bonanza story. Can you just explain for us really what a Bonanza is, how it works, how is it different from these other money-making platforms?
Oh yeah, so in itself, Bonanza machines or business is not bad because it's part of the gaming industry. That is also a business venture for our citizens out there. So the only problem comes when it's operating outside the legal, you know, circumference. For instance, you are not allowed to get a child maybe under the age of 18 years old to play the Bonanza machine according to the available legal bindings, and you're not allowed to actually put your Bonanza machine in a shop or a grocery where a child can actually easily access it. So those are the two things that these communities are being affected with, and parents came out really loud when I visited, or rather at the check on Kalingalinga Ward 6, which is actually in Lusaka, right here in Lusaka, where parents have actually lamented to say their children are even skipping school classes where they want just to play all day this game, and they would make money in form of coins and everything, and they'll get back. I don't know what they use the money for.
Like, how does it work?
I played. I must confess, I played once just for the purpose.
How does it work? You put the coin and
yes. So basically, you put a coin or two or three, whichever that you wish, and then you press there are different buttons in colors, purple, orange, with fruits sort of taggings, where you can tell that, okay, this is an apple and everything. So they know how they trick it, and when you press start, whichever amount you put, you press start, and then it starts rounding. Those two, the lights that you see going round, they're the ones that determines where the coins actually, the result of your investment. I'll call it investment, but because you're actually putting some money there. So you're investing, maybe let's say 5 kwacha, 5 coins. You've invested in that box, and then you press start based on the notes that you clicked. For instance, apple fruit, and then you press start. Then it will go around, and when it falls on maybe let's say apple, and apple happens to be a 20 kwacha, you get a 20 kwacha. So me, I got a 10 kwacha.
From 1 kwacha.
First attempt from 2 kwacha.
You got a 10 kwacha.
Yeah, I got a 10 kwacha. Now this is a trick. This is what I've come to discover. When it's like cards, when you are learning, or when you are just doing for the first time, it feels nice, like encouraging you to go on. But at the end of the day, trust me, even myself, I lost the 10 kwacha. I lost even the coins that I prepared, to play for the sake of demonstration, because I wanted really to have an experience before I do a report.
But can you win big amounts like 100 kwacha? Is it possible?
Some kids told me they've had days where they've won 50 kwacha, 100 kwacha. So it's really based on luck. You know, it's how lucky you are that on that particular day, and then you get to win.
So what is a designated place for these bonanzas to be found? Since you said shops and all that.
Yes, so we have places where which are age rated in terms of pubs, for instance, also bars where people can be drinking while playing the game. Older people, not meant for people underage. So basically, that's what we're trying to look at with the councillor himself, who actually also made a comment to say we'll do everything to make sure that this vice is kept.
And so maybe do you think these are somehow helping the problem of mass youth unemployment? These maybe betting and all that, is it helpful or should it be banned altogether? I don't know.
It's a conversation for another day, really, but talk of the impact. The impact is said to be negative, most part. Yeah, because in as much as they are winning, they are making money, but trust me, they are not being as productive as the country would expect a youthful generation as Zambia is to be. So we expect people to actually embark on projects that can yield much fruit for themselves and also for the country to contribute relevantly to the GDP. But if you see the betting going on and growing, you know, you'd find that most of them are not really being productive.
We've been here, I heard some concerns, is it on social media about 2 weeks ago on Facebook, where they're saying women in compounds are not cooking because we're my bonanza.
Yeah, though I didn't have an experience of a woman playing, but yeah, I've heard some places there are women who have and who take advantage of these bonanza machines and also betting. Betting, especially the issue of football matches, you'd be amazed how these women can analyze a match for a particular team that even you yourself can't even understand.
Is it like predicting the scores? Is it predicting?
Because in a way, you're predicting based on the facts that you have for a particular team. For instance, Chelsea is playing with Liverpool, and records have shown that Chelsea has maybe an upper hand in terms of the fixture and also their performance in terms of possessions and everything.
But is it really fair? For example, I've heard those adverts where some people say, no, win 300 kwacha if you predict maybe five games correctly, as in, what if you predict 3 or 4 and then the 5th one, like, so do those people really want to give money or? Yeah, for such experiences, maybe they want just willingly to give money, but it's actually hard to, you know, it's actually hard to win big, you know, chunk of money out of that. It takes really a person who's an expert in that. Would you play yourself, Alex? Would you
I've
play
attempted to play, but for me it didn't work out. You know, when Bet Power and Betway just started booming in the first days.
But for these maybe established betting platforms, I've seen people win 300 kwacha and all that, so I don't know.
Yes, some people are staying with this. They're even paying rent.
And people saying they bought cars, is that true?
Oh,
is it true?
We'll hear from them. Like those who have had time really to play, they'll get to comment and also give us the picture of really how are these betting, the bonanza machines affecting their respective compounds. So as we said, we've opened our lines and you can be able to contribute to our subject of today, as we'll be joined by the Kalingalinga Ward Councillor 6, Kalingalinga Ward 6 Councillor Mr. Mkubesa Nyoni will be helping us because he has had a direct, you know, experience with both the people and also those operating the machines. So we can hear from him. And what's a way forward for Kalingalinga? And could this action, whichever the action they take, if it's to confiscate the machines or anything, should it be replicated to other communities across the country? And really, it's the people out there to tell us, is it a thing that should be banned completely, or it's a thing that should be actually just put in its place?
Yeah, maybe like you said, I think it's a good idea whereby they're not found in places like shops due to maybe children getting distracted from school. But if you say like the same way whereby they put in age-restricted places, I think that could maybe better reduce that could help reduce the issues of maybe children missing school and all that due to the same.
Exactly. So you covered one of the betting schemes or maybe fast money making where these people were actually reported to police. How was it? And do we have a story that we can actually look at?
Yeah, well, I covered that. That was from the Zambia police. They were at Zambia police headquarters last year, where they were reporting to online platforms where they were allegedly swindled. So they're saying they do not even really know. Okay, so there are these online platforms where you may not even know the person who's the owner because you have admins. An admin can be any person. For example, if you know about how the money circulation scheme works, you just find yourself one day in the WhatsApp group, you have been made an admin. But that doesn't mean you're the owner. You're just someone who's hoping maybe to explain to others who may have questions like, where am I going to get my money and all that. But then there are really people, masterminds behind the game. Maybe they've been in another country. And so if you find, and then you find that maybe if something goes wrong, you're just an admin, you're not even the owner, you're also just maybe someone who's also investing in the same. And then you get in trouble.
So the admin was, in this case, implicated. Was he Zambian?
The time when I went to Pakra, they said the same goal was actually registered in the name of a 21-year-old. So I don't know if it's just...
Wow. Do we have the story though?
We do have the story.
I think we can look at it and then...
We're talking about Pakra who are responding to the swindled people. Or maybe first, basically, I think it's better for us to first play the initial story.
Oh yeah.
So just take a look at the initial story where those people were swindled, and then later we'll go and talk about the response from Pakra on the same. So just take a look at that story on the swindled people. With a rise in the number of people using digital platforms, criminals have also established their presence online. Many citizens have been scammed through online money-making platforms such as MyZamFund, GoLike, coin auctions, and many others. Citizens are lured into investing money with the hope of getting more in return through online money circulation schemes. While authorities have warned of this and classified such activities as being illegal, some state that due to the rising cost of living, the temptation to make extra income is almost impossible to resist. A group of over 30,000 Zambians have reportedly been swindled by an online money-making platform known as Itesco. Group representative Kapolo Wechembo explains that the group was led into believing that the online platform was registered with credible authorities such as the Patents and Companies Registration Agency PACRA, and hence willingly invested.
Once you deposit your money and then you are given payday orders to match. So some of us, we thought it would be very helpful for us looking at how the economy is. It was an opportunity for us to start making money. Like we make quick money, fast money.
The group has lost a reported total of about 23 million kwacha from the business whose owners are not known, as they are non-Zambian residents who only operate online.
I joined Itesco in June when a friend of mine approached me to say it's happening. You see, people are withdrawing money, and then I saw him once withdrawing money. That's how I got convinced. And moreover, upon joining, I requested for the registration papers for the same business, which were presented to me. He said this business was registered through PACRA, and then they used to pay even ZRA tax, of which to me it proved to me to say this is a genuine business. That's how I joined. It was Itesco platform which I joined, and then I was scammed about my 3,000 kwacha. Yeah, it is all gone with those guys.
Police have since launched investigations into the matter while urging citizens to exercise caution. Zipora Mushala, Camnet News, Lusaka. Group representing over 30,000 Zambians recently visited Zambia Police Service headquarters in Lusaka, alleging to have been swindled of 23 million kwacha by online money-making companies known as Itesco and GoLike. The citizens claimed that they were led into believing that the companies were genuine, as they said they were registered under the Patents and Companies Registration Agency PACRA, which convinced them to invest their money. PACRA Business Development Manager Ms. Vida Ndrovu has confirmed that the said companies were registered with the agency, but not as money-making platforms, but rather under online information and publishing. She has cautioned members of the public, saying they should conduct background checks of companies before deciding to invest in them, stating that this information is readily available at the agency and is free to the public.
Our advice to people is that PACRA has a very active website, and one of the services on the website is the business verification module. So with the business verification module, it actually allows you to do a search on a business that is registered. So you simply need to type in the name of the business or the registration number. But other than that, if you want a bit more details, for example, who owns this business, who are the shareholders, what type of business is it engaged in, then you can get what is called a computer printout. And it's very cheap. It's only 83 kwacha per printout. According to information from the agency, GoLike was recently registered on 22nd April 2021, which Ms. Njovu said should have made members of the public assess its credibility, having only operated for a short period of time. So our mandate really is for us to register businesses. So in this case, where people are or were allegedly swindled by GoLike online services, yes, of course, it is registered with PACRA. But what is of interest is the fact that this business was only registered on the 22nd of April 2021. So it has not really been in existence for that long. However, if anybody has a complaint relating to GoLike online services, then they may wish to take it up with the relevant authorities, because PACRA's mandate is really to just give birth to businesses. Independent investigations by Camnet News have established that GoLike online business was registered in the name of a 21-year-old man who will undergo questioning by police. However, other sources who have sought confidentiality indicate that many times locals are merely used as scapegoats to register businesses, while the real criminals operate from the cyberspace and are based internationally. Meanwhile, Camnet News will continue pursuing the matter with the relevant authorities to ascertain the outcome. Zipporah Mushala, Camnet News, Lusaka. There you have it, a story about people who were allegedly swindled by two online platforms named GoLike and Itesco. And so we have now opened the phone lines, and we're going to expect your views on quick money-making schemes. What is your thought? Should they be banned? Are they good for our economy? Are they maybe on the positive side, if you can say, are they maybe helping youth in terms of unemployment? We have been joined by Kalingalinga Ward 6 Area Councillor Mr. Mkubesa Nyoni to help us discuss the issue of money-making schemes. Welcome to the show, Mr. Nyoni.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
How are you doing this morning, Mr. Nyoni?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Yeah, so you are one of the councillors who've been quite loud on the issue of bonanza machines in your ward area, and what really impact as it has on your people, to start with? Yeah,
these bonanzas have got a very negative impact, particularly when you see the age group that is interested in it. It's quite, they are children 8 to 12 years old, and when you see this age group 10 to 20 years from now, these are the people we expect to be leading us. So if they are corrupted morally by these businesses, we are headed for doom as a country.
Oh yeah, so as Zipporah said, we have opened the phone lines. You are able to contribute actually to this topic. We are discussing the quick money scheme making in broad. Happens to be one of them, the bonanza machines. Are they in itself bad machine? Can you tell them like bad business forum?
Without doubt, they are.
Why?
Because they attract children, and when you see the design of them, they are specifically made for children. You see that they've got psychedelics, doors on them, to attract children. So wherever they are made, they are, I think for me they have a foresight of how our generation should be 20 years from now. I think what they want to put in the heads of the children is an easy back kind of idea. You don't need to work hard. You don't need to be determined, focus, and so on. You can make money easily, which is not true. That is cheating our children and the generation to come.
And what effect maybe are they having on education, on children's education?
Children are not going to school. The mother wants the child to go to school, but you know the nature of man. When a child has got money, even an adult, they tend to be, you know, unruly and so on. So really, I'm sure out there, parents don't want those machines because I don't see any positive from them as a parent and as a leader.
And how widespread are they maybe? How wide is this issue of bonanza in communities?
This is widespread. It is in the 116 districts. So this is a nationwide problem.
We have laws in our country guiding in this case, the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Don't you think there are laws that are set, for instance, places specified that are set for these bonanzas to be operating from? Also talking of the age limit.
Yeah.
Don't you think when people abide to that, it can be well justified to continue with the business of bonanzas?
I wouldn't say that because here the people involved in this business are very wealthy. So their target is children. Even if the moment we say we are going to allow these things to continue, I bet you, Alex, this thing will be with us for a long time to come. So for me, what I would appeal to central government is to give them an indefinite ban, and you see the cheers from the people. Because if we let them loose the way it is, we might impound or do whatever, but since these people are making a lot of money and we will impound, they'll bring them back. But if there's an indefinite ban from the higher authorities, definitely that will be the end of that business.
What is your view on this subject? Would you want these machines to be banned in your communities, or rather to be completely gotten away with? What is your view? Are you seeing this type of business being productive to our societies out there? So you have this on this platform to actually an advantage to contribute, also ask questions why you think that way. So Zipporah, we have another segment to this in terms of generally the productivity of our youth out there in terms of the system that they are using to make quick money. Basically, Mr. Nyoni, how is the outlook of the youth environment in Kalingalinga ward in terms of the betting altogether?
The betting is high. First, I have to admit, on the youth side. However, this bonanza is children. A youth and a child are two different things. So here, particularly for the bonanzas, it's a no. It's a definite no. On the gaming side, this betting, football betting, and so on, yes, it's high. But I think for those, they are, to put it loosely, they are well regulated. Because just for the purpose of this interview, we have 3 legally gambling, so to speak. We've got sport betting, we've got casinos, and lotteries. So on those 3 scores, I don't know where the bonanzas really fit in. Yeah, it would really need an expert to see whether they are sport betting, whether they are casinos, I don't know. But really, if they are casinos, we see it's written, it's a building, casinos, you know. But those are put just on the table outside for children to come and play that.
Is there maybe any positive side to this at all? maybe bonanzas? Is there anything positive about them?
There's nothing positive. It's just positive to the people involved in it. They're just there for the money.
And how do the owners? Is it? I've seen most of them maybe in shops. In what way do the owners of the shops maybe benefit? Maybe is it a way of maybe bringing business for themselves or not? Or do they benefit?
There's an agreement. That's a very good question, by the way. I think Zambia as a country, we are being taken for a ride by our colleagues, the foreigners, because this business of bonanzas is done by two nationals, if I can say that, the Rwandese and the Chinese. The Chinese come with these machines. They place them in the Rwandese shops. There should be an agreement.
We have a caller, Mr. Nyoni. Can you just hold your thought a bit? Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning. Hello, you're through. Good morning. You're through to the Camnet breakfast show.
Hello?
Yes, we can get you. Good morning.
Just reduce the volume from the television.
Okay, your contribution to the program? Okay, your line is breaking, but I think we've got the point. Thank you for contribution. Okay, she was actually against the idea of bonanza, saying, if you heard her, she was saying bonanza. So there are many views out there from the community who are actually against the issue of bonanzas.
Yeah, I think we can now play the story that we did in Kalingalinga Ward, so that you can have just a broader picture of what we're trying to put across from Kalingalinga. Let's have a look.
So how are you feeling like
This machine can be addictive, just like the sport betting, which many people now refer to the source of employment amid the high youth unemployment levels in the country. The machine is easy to operate, thus making it a controversial toy for children. It goes without mentioning that the bonanza machines have flooded the streets of Lusaka, with most customers being school-going children. Regardless efforts by relevant authorities and complaints from concerned citizens, this vice has persisted. This journalist investigated how this practice is among children in one of the Lusaka's compound, Kalingalinga, and later spoke to one of the children to find out why they play.
Now in Apo bit
kudala
zingati
50 kwacha
no matela kuti
wedira up
obama mi obama titala kutea
kati bastala tenga kulangiza
uzatulangiza niko side mpatali maningi
iya imbafu
wao matea hiyo
ngojendla mabega kunyumba
and then kunyumba bachita nazo panish
uzogwa ndio
sana kunyumba kwanza ama kupasa ndama kwa
so bazi bachoma tea
bonanza. Parents have however called for a ban of this bonanza, for they pose a danger to their children's well-being.
Wachita mwana so ise vama bonanza ise Steve Ford ngatini hapo mabona bangala wantu fulu so sibonanja sestifuna yononga abana kai mkombo
yonenga abana monga bwana
bakubandira mazatu
because bana they're gambling on, so to say. Gambling, even a safe place, Muba, Malo, not gambling anywhere.
9 years. Mabonanza vya funga banning. Kapenda bakuru chela ziate anda kapenda 17, 18. Not vana bangono 10 years, 8 years, 7 years. Maonongeka. Ndabutikana nabo bana munga yete nkani ya bonanza mwandi nchabebu bale baya banning. Olo bale se bataba kayisunga bakwanise bana okutafika 10 years. Bataba ngache balibendera makai bataba nkachabe mashopu bali mabonanza bataba.
While the early childhood care and development remains an important agenda in this country, this vice is a direct threat to that core. The area councillor, Mr. Mukubesa Nyoni, has warned that the issue will be followed up to ensure that the vice is kept.
First of all, Zambia has got 3 legalized gambling. 1, there's casinos. 2, there's sports betting. And 3, there are lotteries. And of these 3, it is people of the age of 18 and above. So any gambling that is entertaining the people below the age of that, it is illegal. So as a local authority, we will enforce the laws so that we keep this vice. We've got police, and the state police can help us reinforce it so that it is brought to book. And from the residents and from what I've seen, this bonanza business or lottery or whatever we may call it is done by our friends, the Asians or the Chinese. So it's like they are not interested in the well-being of our children. And us as leaders, as civic leaders, we have to stamp our authority.
Other children, however, have challenged their peers to desist from playing bonanza and take advantage of other sport activities aside from school and domestic.
Oh, self-control. Manje niva bwanji vamushe veona muri karate. You want 10 years but you pesca ushita karate. Okay. Awe. Tambera so banzako Yesu ashita vili vose ungafuna mambo shita kufichana. Mambo shita karate.
The current laws regulating the gaming industry do not allow anyone below the age of 18 to indulge in any form of gambling, but operators keep placing bonanza machines in groceries where children can easily access them. It is therefore the hope of the community members that this situation will be addressed as soon as possible. Alex Shimba, Camnet News, Lusaka. Welcome back. In case you are just joining us, we've been discussing the quick money making in our communities that has to do with the online platforms and also the bonanza in particular, where Mr. Nyoni Mukubesa has joined us to discuss that topic. So you may actually have an opportunity to call and give your contribution in terms of how has this affected your community, young people, and also children, as it were. So, Mr. Nyoni, that was you giving a comment on that check in Kalingalinga ward. And where do we see this movement end?
For
like,
me,
what's your target?
My target is very simple. My heart will only rest when this business is stopped. That is the target.
Just in your compound or entirely?
Since it affects all the 116 districts, that is the entire country. That is my goal.
What is your view on that note? Do you think these bonanza machines should be banned completely? Zipporah, just to divert a little bit, you've had an experience of the online platforms schemes. Just share a little bit how impactful these schemes are.
Oh, yeah, so basically we're looking at all maybe quick money schemes. We have bonanzas, we have betting, which is legal. Betting is legal. Then we have the illegal, such as online money circulation schemes. So there are different ways that say you can make quick money. So one of them is the quick money online making schemes, and most youths are involved in this due to mass youth unemployment. This is where you make money, maybe somewhere around 1,000 kwacha. And all that, it's a form of village banking, but it is actually illegal. And that's why you find it, like who are saying earlier, where you find that people who are actually doing these online money circulation schemes were actually arrested because the circulating money, aside from the Bank of Zambia, illegal. They're not legal money circulators. And so basically, this is where we have where citizens are promised, for example, if you put 1,000 kwacha after 6 months or maybe after 2 weeks, it will turn into 2,000 kwacha through. It's more like a money village banking scheme where you circulate money and money yourself.
Okay.
But you find that at the end of the day, when you continue putting in money, that money will just disappear. Maybe they'll say the online system which you use to circulate the money is gone, because while you circulate money, you see maybe you receive a number on the online platform. Since you're registered, you receive a number saying you're going to receive this amount from this person. You receive that money from that person, for sure they'll send, and maybe you're supposed to send that money to someone else, and so it just keeps rotating like that. But you find that maybe at the end of the day, when you put in a lot of money, suddenly they say the platform is no longer working.
You should trust the other person, really. Like it's a link of people circulating money.
The only moment of money, for example, if you put 500, once you say you're supposed to send 500, you put in money by sending to someone. You put in 500 to someone to bring a phone number to you, people who are actually part of the same platform. So there are actually many, maybe you find that one platform has got 10 WhatsApp groups because there's so many people.
Do you know the person you're sending to or the person you're receiving?
It's more like village banking, yeah. It's one of you in the system. So to bring for your number, send 500 to this person. Once you send 500 to that person, it will write on your platform that you're expecting 1,000 kwacha after 1 week. Since you put your interest, you even choose the interest rate. Do you want 1,000 kwacha in 7 days, or do you want maybe 50% interest in 3 days? So that those, if you want a lower interest rate, you get it at a shorter time. So once you send that money, it actually says, once you send maybe 500, it will write expect 1,000 kwacha in 7 days. For example, if you put at 100% interest rate. And so when that time comes, someone else will receive your number and say, send this amount to that person. And once that person sends, their money also multiplies. They get sent money. So if you don't send your money, then multiply.
Have you had an experience?
I have had an experience, but in the end I got swindled for sure and for certain. Like you saw in the story earlier, where those people were swindled by, allegedly swindled by Itesco and Golek. And so they're saying they've lost up to about 1 million kwacha collectively because they're about 3,000 in number countrywide. And so Mr. Mkubesanyon, maybe some of these issues, how do you think maybe there are good things? Are they helping youth and employment? Or maybe should there be sensitization in communities to have this banned or something?
For me, I think any business that is done online is 90% fraud. So I would not advise anyone to venture into them.
Great. And maybe to just say a little bit side from your I would call it advocacy or your agenda of banning the bonanza. We have a flip side to it, where I actually followed up the association, that is the Gaming Association of Zambia, who actually said totally different view on the same. What would be your counter reaction to that? Or maybe before we just have your counter reaction, let's look at the story that we did with the Gaming Association so to get to have a balanced view of the story on bonanza machines.
Following complaints from parents of Lusaka and other stakeholders over the illegalities around the gambling bonanza business across the country, lamenting that their children are exposed to this vice, hence demanding for a ban.
Wachitamwana. So isi vama bonanza isi Steve Phone. Ngatini hapo mabona. Bangala wantu fulu so. So isi bonanza isi Steve Phone. Yononga wana kai mkombo.
Abangono 10 years, 8 years, 7 years. Baonongeka. Ndavutikana nabo bana munga yeta nkhani ya bonanza mwandi nchabebwino bale baya banning.
In response to this development, the Gaming Association of Zambia has warned the operators who shall be found wanting that they'll face the law and risk their business. Mr. Noah Malungila is the association's Special Activities Director.
Some of these people in this business, the documents they're using, they're contrary to the business they're doing, especially to our Asian counterparts. And it's not only the Asians who are in this business. There are a lot of Zambians as well into this business. Now the challenge is for those who are doing it illegally. One, I meant by those who are not paying to ZRA. Because the nature of this business, whenever you want to start this business, there's a rule that you should be paying 250 kwacha per machine per month. Now there are these people who haven't gone through ZRA. There are these people who haven't gone through Zambia Gaming Association. And we're having really a big challenge because those are the people now who have done this business who are not even following the rules the same.
However, Mr. Malungila says banning the Bonanza business will have a negative impact on many Zambians in the business operating within the provided laws.
So banning this machine, like what I alluded to, there are a lot of Zambians who have these machines today. There are a lot of Zambians who have employed fellow Zambians in this industry today. And let me just tell you this. That business you see today, it's not a small industry. It's a big industry. If you shake it today, you'll be seeing some section of life or some sections of the community who will suffer. So the only thing we just have to do is to make sure that we put things in place so that this business continues. Like what I've alluded to, we are not supposed to put machines in groceries. We are not supposed to put these machines maybe in the public markets here, like what you saw. These machines can only be put in places which cannot be accessed by underage patronage.
He has since revealed that soon an inspection exercise will be conducted countrywide in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism and other line ministries to ensure that law is observed in the gaming industry. Alex Shimba, Camnet News, Lusaka. Two different opinions over the subject. One has to do with the banning of the machines. The other has to do with maintaining the machines in our communities. What would be your view on the subject? Do you think the Bonanza machine should be banned completely, or maybe they should just be put in their place where it's legally binding? You have that counter reaction from the association. What would be your comment to that?
I have a different view on that one. This Bonanza business is benefiting the Rwandese and the Chinese, because you and me, at least, I think, and everybody at home watching, groceries in our compounds are run by Rwandese. So the Chinese will come with their machine and put it there. And this machine is very easy to operate. There's no employment there.
And so do you think as an association they have numbers where they've had statistics which are reporting to say Zambians have a large share in this business, and when a point at which we get rid of it, we have a lot of people being affected negatively? Let's just take that call as you attend to that question. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Can you speak up?
You are here to breakfast show. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Bonanza. Kazi uli Bonanza isiri yai. Tupanda Bonanza zero. Tuina ngavo.
Why do you say that?
Bonanza kuni na mulungu alitaka Bonanza.
Mr. Benefit wants to be Bonanza. Hello?
Hello?
Bonanza, okay, we lost the line, but I think that person will say Bonanza.
Was it supporting the banning or is against the banning? I couldn't
Bonanza ifunika pacha.
Oh, Bonanza ifunika pacha. Unfortunately, we didn't even get the full names and where they are calling us from. Please, when you call, do introduce yourself and make sure we know where you're calling us from.
And I'd love to hear maybe the justification for
yes, and also when you give your comment, give your justification. For instance, the reason why you're saying the Bonanza machine should be banned in our communities, or the reason why you're saying the Bonanza machine should be maintained in our communities. It would be better if we had to take that route. Mr. Nyoni, you had a question where I said, as an association,
We have another call, Alex.
Wow, let's attend to this. Hello, good morning. Buena muli bwanji.
Okay.
Okay. So, mufuna. Also, mufuna waichite ban. Okay, ziko mukwambi. So, I think they trained. For the guys, it's no bonanza should be there. For the ladies,
no, it's not trained now. I'll be. That's me. I'm on the agenda.
The mothers. I know. I'm just saying. I know my opinion. My opinion. Mr. Nyon can attest to it. So maybe it's just my opinion. But yeah, coming back to you, Mr. Nyoni, having an association, one of the they
are saying it's employing Zambian.
Yes, they're citing Zambians to benefit in a way that this is the business that is also open to Zambian people. And maybe they have statistics supporting that notion. What would you say? Have you pictured a world without bonanza? A community without bonanza?
Yes, I have.
What are the implications?
Well, everyone now will be sober, will know that for me to have money, if it is a child, I need to go to school, I need to be focused, I need to be determined. There's no free lunch. Yeah, that is the world that I envision without bonanzas. But with bonanzas around, people would think they can become wealthy with a coin.
This is what you are pushing for. You're pushing for banning of the machines completely,
Yes.
not even in bars. Is that it? Should they remain in bars?
If they remain in bars, then we haven't done anything. They will again show up.
Okay.
Yes.
So you need to be banned completely.
Even if I heard Mr. Malungila saying we'll do a countrywide tour to see the
okay, let's just attend to the call.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you reduce the volume?
Reduce the volume from your television. Chosanko volume, mamai. Chosanko volume.
When you call us, kindly make sure you turn
Yeah.
down the volume of your television set so that we can hear you clearly.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
Alex.
I've even lost a thought. So you were saying, what are the implications of? Okay, let's attend to this call. Muli Bwanji. Hello. Am I Muli Bwanji? Bwin. Your contribution. Hello, Timi Vera. Kaya chinyanje. Okay, mtumi nakuti. Bueno, mtumi nakuti. Okay. Kambani TV. Mamvela musha kutea bonanza.
That's a child.
Zanga zingati. Mama yenye?
Muna zaka zingati.
21 years.
That is not you see.
Okay. So muifu na bonanza? Why? Why ifunika bonanza? Reason why ifunika? Kambani.
Okay, Ziko.
Okay, Ziko.
Ziko.
Okay.
You see, Alex, you can tell that is a child.
He's saying he's 21 years old.
No, you
You have to think about Nina. 21
Somebody
years.
spoke in the
You have to think
background
about
because we are talking of the age limit.
So for sure, we're having customers being children. Coming back to your question, what would be a picture like in your community without bonanza? Completely dealt with. No bonanzas machine in the bars. no bonanza machines, the pubs where only 18 years and above access. What would be life without these machines in Kalingalinga one?
That is very simple, Alex. Bonanzas are not adding value to our society. They are not bringing in money. They are not doing what. So without bonanzas, life would move on smoothly. And answering what Mr. Malungila, the Association for Gaming spokesperson or something.
The director, director.
Okay, the director is saying that Zambians will be impacted and so on. One thing I can tell you, this business, from a layman point of view, is run by Chinese, and you know how sophisticated Chinese are. So for me, the records will show that Zambians are there, but they are just used for registration. So we are being played here.
Quite strong allegations. Well, we are discussing the bonanza machines and other fast money-making schemes. What would be your view on the subject? Would you love these type of money-making schemes be dealt with completely in your communities? Are they adding any value to our communities as it were, or maybe something that we can actually work around in terms of just maintaining them? So Mr. Nyon is saying should be banned. What would be your view, Zipporah?
Well, I think we've heard this. We also want them to be completely banned both in bars and in the communities, isn't it?
Yes.
And so maybe
the reason being banned everywhere is because once we allow that it should be in bars, that is how they came, mind you. They were just in bars. Now look at how they've infiltrated everywhere. So the moment we say no, it's just for bars, then we haven't done anything. That is where
so maybe what route are you planning to take in terms of we have a call? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, can you tell us your name and where you're calling us from, as well as your contribution?
I'm calling from Dola, Moshiri. I'm Mrs. Chipasha. This bonanza thing, it's not really okay. It's very bad in our community. More, we see some easy things as employment. But when we go through very carefully, it's a very threat and danger to our society. Because if you let take our communities, we are promoting readiness uchalo. Because as young as 7 years,
so my toilet station.
Try ukupitana countrywide in my community, especially in my townships. I have highly populated. You go there, you will see pictures. If we don't no take government yes, we monopolize. If you sticker, no card thing. Kama townships, it's not good. It's a threat, it's a danger.
Okay, so toilet station. So toilet station you can contact.
This is not business. It's not even creating employment to our youth. What employment? Because it's just promoting laziness.
Munefa babani ne ba government. Munefa babani ne bonanza ba government.
bantu kuchita regulate tabapitana muma market ukuishiva bwino kachakwe bati kuti bachita regulate bwino mwabefunde ebikalamba ili akulolesha muli ishu limbi kuti chakulisha nombanga tabali kwa abachaziyo creating employment. What employment? Muli bonanza. Ni employment is. I'm living a week on a state farm. About to buy a mukulaima. It can be better. Babale ke shepo, matabalo ke shepo wino. It's better abaninga she. Ya kuma kwefitu Vaticansa. Ya kuma kwefitu completely.
That's a ban.
Listen, Yoni.
Yeah.
We have a caller that is pushing for having a similar sentiment.
Yes. So you see, all the callers, all adults are against this bonanza. From your callers, all the adults that called are against, except for a child that supported it. So we are in the positive direction, and I'm standing here confidently that we have the support of the people for the ban.
So there's always a theory of putting off and taking on.
Yeah.
When you put off something, obviously you take on something.
Yeah.
What is the equation here?
Yeah.
You get done with the bonanza or any form of betting, as it were. What are you replacing it with in your compound to make sure that people or young people are more productive?
I think replacing bonanza with,
because we heard from the association it's a big industry. It's not a small industry.
Well,
let's just attend to that call. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Bueno mlibwanje.
Nilibwino mlibwanje boss.
Yeah, Tuauka Chebwina Zina, and where are you calling us from? Mr. Kennedy?
Yeah.
What do you mean, coach? Mkalingalinga. Also, mwizi wankani ama bonanza? Okay.
So he's supporting us.
Hello.
Hello. Mwatumukamba pali bonanza?
Hello.
Mwatumukamba pali bonanza? Bakenet?
Bonanza
kama pali bonanza. Ngati mufuna bonanza baichoseko o ikalilide mu compound ya. Okay. If it's other issues, we'll get to attend to you some other time. My issues here nangu, zamchita attend some other time. Apatikama pali bonanza. Okay, Ziko. So we're talking
bonanza.
We're discussing the issue of bonanza and any other form of quick money making schemes out there which are affecting our society. We might not be in terms of in position to conclude whether it's negative or what, but Mr. Nyoni has joined us to actually give a picture of how much this vice has affected, his ward. You may have even a broader picture as community members to call in and give contribution, as it were, to this subject. Mr. Nyoni, you were saying something.
You were saying about replacing bonanza.
Yes, the industry, according to the association, it's big.
Okay.
People, they actually cited to say there are a lot of Zambians benefiting from this. So let's take away bonanza, which are benefiting, pathetically speaking, benefiting the Zambian people. What are we replacing them? Aren't they going to? Aren't we having a situation where they'll be now more crime in our compound because they don't have what to do?
Alex, I tend to disagree with this this notion that a lot of Zambians are employed in this business. Just from my simple analysis or understanding, this issue of bonanza, I'm not talking from without. I've seen how the Chinese bring this machine. They go, they get coins. You know, I've never seen a Zambian. So my understanding, it can be corrected, but knowing how sophisticated and how elusive the Chinese are, I think we are just being used for registration.
Not all Chinese nationals are elusive and sophisticated. Let's attend to that call. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, where are you calling us from, your name and your contribution?
My name is
You're calling from where?
Kamala South.
Kamala South. Your contribution, madam.
My contribution is to the NIC for putting out education. They can use the NIC for the bonanza. Let's say, if we call the concept that not appropriate to the bonanza, so my point is to use the NIC. We shouldn't just find them as making for the NIC. Somebody is like, yes, there is a little bit about can play the game. The example is let's say it goes with case one to the last day of because the NIC doesn't just make the place for the kids of the NIC.
Okay. So, real quick question. Would you want the bonanza machine to be banned or not?
It shouldn't be banned. This is my point that the NIC make the bonanza for the education and for someone to play the bonanza game with the NIC.
Great. So, is it benefiting the Zambian people?
It's creating jobs.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much for that contribution.
So I'm sure this is something, maybe since baiting or bonanzas is such a huge thing, maybe that's something that calls for, like maybe not knowing that per se, maybe to weigh its benefits and its consequences. For example, concerns from people like in the education sector saying it's affecting education, and then maybe if you say Ministry of Labor, maybe they will have concerns such as it's affecting the productivity. And then on the other hand, you've got people saying it's creating jobs. So I'm sure that's something that we have to weigh the benefits, the positives and the negatives. But from the views that we've heard out there from many members of the public, they seem to have a lot of negatives rather than benefits.
Yeah, that's true. And when
you were saying about Zambia not having access to this business,
because I've never seen a Zambian, to be honest, and I'm sure this will go nationwide.
We have another caller. Hello, good morning. Yes, can you speak up? Yes, your name and where you're calling us from, as well as your contribution. Can you speak up? We can't hear you.
Reduce your volume from your television. All right, go ahead.
Yes, my contribution is I think now the problem is the mandate that is not Zambian. Because look at it, I'm getting an example. How many people are in Sweden, which is not to be people who are under 15 years. But people are here, which isn't supposed to be them. So it's been good for us as adjustment. Now the way we use it, but you find that people are even that they are doing it. So I think they should put that faith and religion. We should create those things and what is supposed to say those things. But as government, people are supposed to be fixing those things and they are kept. So those things.
It has the age limit of 18 years and above. Anyone who's below shouldn't play the bonanza machine as it stands now.
Sorry?
Only people above the age of 18 years and above should play the bonanza as it stands now.
Yes, that's what is written on the bonanza.
Yes. So would you think it should be banned?
Sorry?
Should it be banned?
No, it shouldn't be banned because that is just that there's no one there to enforce the law of which is supposed to pay and did not do. But that is still bad at the moment. What are supposed to enforce is not okay. What are they saying? What things, what kind of things for another?
Okay.
And you know, they are explained it is not that.
Thank you so much. We have another opinion over the topic. I didn't get the justification of not banning. I don't know if you had.
I didn't hear it clearly, although he was not really for the idea, isn't it?
Yes, he's saying it shouldn't be banned.
But he says banning. He's not really for the idea of the bonanzas, but then he says banning is not the way forward.
Yeah.
So I've heard a lot of contributions where people are maybe calling for better regulation of the bonanza system because they're saying it's creating jobs and all those other things. So I don't know what the councillor thinks.
What if we intensify the inspection, regular inspection activities?
If it can be done, but being realistic, it cannot be done, because ever since this story of bonanzas has started, never have we seen any inspector from anywhere. It's like now the councillor for Kalingalinga has taken it on his own now. Now imagine if we say we will regulate to inspect, who's going to inspect? So that's why for me, considering the magnitude of this problem, I'm appealing to the high authorities. The only solution is an indefinite ban, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it.
And how far are you willing to take maybe your petition? Is it how serious or how far? Who do you engage to involve? Who do you engage to take a petition to? Like, how serious are you about having this ban?
I'm very serious because issues of children, it comes from the heart. So I would love to take this to. I'm taking it all the way, where the highest way possible. We are ready to go there so that we.
Are you alone in the fight, or are there other people?
I'm alone. I'm
alone backing you.
There's literally me
backing you.
Yeah, the whole.
Because you are against a current, if it was swimming, which is against you, and a lot of people are in the business.
Said 116 districts.
Yes. So
what I'm saying is, those.
Are you ready for that fight, really?
Because it is genuine. There's no payment. It's something that comes from the heart.
Don't you maybe involve other people so that you have maybe a stronger voice?
No, they should come to me because I'm the one who started, and I know exactly what I'm talking about. People will join, and then they don't know where, But at least for purposes of people watching this, I've seen my commitment, Alex, to this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really, really coming from the heart. And where I stay, just 100 meters from, that is where these things are happening. So as a leader, I'm really touched. Even when I pass there, I feel embarrassed because I'm pushing an agenda and the Chinese are there bringing those things. Once they see this on TV, tomorrow it won't be there. But come two days from that day, they are back. So I know what I'm talking about. We'll talk, but if we don't have that zeal to quench it out, our children will be spoiled.
Talking of your commitment, someone would be watching from Kalingalinga Ward 6. And
we have a call.
Okay, I'll finish up. Let's just take that call. Good morning.
Okay, I'm Mr. Tango, the time when it's amazing.
Great. Your contribution, sir.
I'm Mr. Tango, the time when it's from Zambezi.
Yeah, from Zambezi. You've taken note. Your contribution.
Yeah, I'm condemning it.
Okay. Why do you say so?
Promoting safety from the society.
Okay.
The one who is benefiting is the Chinese, not the society.
Mm-hmm.
Our children are stealing money from our homes and getting one place of another. So it should be banned, as for me. It is not helping.
Should it be banned or not?
It's told us.
You've answered already. Should it be banned or not?
Should it be banned?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You seem to have numbers. Mr.
So you see, I'm explaining that all the 116 districts are affected. That is not Western Province. So this is a cancer that is growing very fast, and as a government, really, we should curb it the soonest possible time.
Like I was saying, one would be interested to know from maybe, let's take a close up to Kalingalinga ward.
Yeah.
Watching you right now, and they are thinking, okay, if Mr. Nyoni get rid of Bonanza, what do I do? What are you providing in your ward?
For me, I'm speaking for children.
Yeah, alternatively. Yeah. And now you are speaking for children, but you're going as far as the pubs where youth and older people access this Bonanza. And this day, he just wakes up and he finds there's no Bonanza in the pub or in the bar. What does he do?
I'll tell you, Alex, these Bonanzas are not in bars. They are in shops now.
Some are in bars. I saw one in a bar.
Well, the majority are...
According to the law that are available at the moment, you only see people who are above the year 18 years and above should be the ones to play. And then because of Mr. Nyoni, Kalingalinga now happens not to have the Bonanza machines.
We have another caller, Alex.
Okay. What's the alternative plan?
I think the callers will answer.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Take that one.
Hello. Yes, can you tell us your name, where you're calling us from, as well as your contribution to the show?
Okay.
The line is really bad.
Yeah. I don't know what.
Kindly call back and just cut and call back. We'll be able to attend to you. Try to call back. Thank you. Just make sure you're aware it's clear and you are quite...
Yes, you are saying, how do we replace Bonanza?
What do we replace it? What activities have you planned?
The government...
As in back on this agenda?
Listen, the government has increased the CDF. Cooperatives are there. People are registering. That is the youths now, not the children. On the part of the children, the government has... there's free education now. So everything, the government has made a very conducive environment for our people to thrive. No wonder I'm speaking here for the removal of Bonanzas. Replacements are already there. We have 20 million, 25 million in our constituencies. Let us access that fund. We have free education for the children. So what more are we asking for? Thank you.
And we heard a caller earlier who was saying it's encouraging children, it's discouraging children maybe from, since we find children as young as maybe 7, 10 years. So that's why it's more like we're setting a trend.
Okay, now let's attend to that call. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
You are through to our breakfast show. Your name and where you are calling us from?
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Kindly reduce the volume from your television.
Hello?
Kindly reduce the volume and then we get to communicate properly.
Hello, we can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you. Kindly go ahead.
Yes, I want to contribute.
Okay. Hello? I think we have lost that line.
Okay, so like we said, when you call, kindly reduce the volume from... Hello? Hello? Go ahead.
Our children. Children are more important than anything in this world.
You see.
You have to raise proper children. Now, if the councillor and all of us actually, we are against these machines, they should be banned
or there should be control. Because we are talking about children here who are defenseless. So we shouldn't really provide. If there's investment, those investment should be industries where they employ our youth. Not so the country actually is on the right course. Those things should be banned. And we cannot allow people from one country to destroy our children. Why can't they go and destroy their children in their own country? So that is my contribution. I support the mission the council is doing. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you so much.
So I heard you are saying, you and the callers there, they are saying children are not going to school. So in fact, this bonanza now is fighting the new Dawn government of free education. Children will be going to
it's fighting the free education.
It's fighting free education. So we are on you.
As we conclude,
yes.
Mr. Nyonyu, I've talked of a number of things that you are in a pipeline in terms of replacing the bonanza. Speak to those people who might have been addicted to this bonanza. What would be your word of encouragement so that they can just have a bit of way of coming out of that? Church people would say bondage of the bonanza. Like my colleague here. So what could be your appeal to them? Those who've been really glued to this machine.
Yes, I understand gambling is addictive. It's a very serious, it's very detrimental to the well-being of human beings. At the end of the day, if you really have that will to overcome it, you can. We are here as leaders. Where I come from, we've got a sports hall, there's gymnastics, there's music for the youths and so on. Even you, the youth that is watching, if you've got an activity that is productive, like I say to my ward, you are free to access the hall. You know, these halls are meant for the public, but it is not everything that leaders can do. Us as leaders is just to provide a platform so that people can thrive. I am that leader and I'm waiting for you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Nyonyu, for that. Even for just coming through and appear on our breakfast show so that you can give more view on the subject. We have been discussing the, what do you think about the quick money scheme according to what is really trending in our society in terms of money-making schemes, and also especially the bonanza, which has affected the people out there. And we've had mixed feelings from our callers who have some supporting the agenda of banning the machines, others are not supporting. So here we just wrap up with our show. Zipporah will actually help us to do that.
Yeah, so we have been discussing, as Alex mentioned, the issue of quick money-making schemes. This is betting, which is legal. Then we have the other issue of bonanzas, which has faced a lot of mixed feelings, and people want it banned, and they're saying it's creating employment. So what should be the way forward? I'm sure government officials are watching out there, and they will help in deciding and making the necessary policy directions. Then we've also seen online circulation schemes, such as where people got swindled. We saw those stories of people got swindled earlier. So I'm just basically talking about what is the way forward for our country in terms of education, what is the way forward for our economy. Are these issues like bonanza, reducing productivity, are they fighting the education sector in the country? What is their benefit? What is their disadvantage? And so basically we have been seeing that, and we've had Mr. Nyoni to help us here discuss, and I'm sure government officials out there will make their official position on the matter. So join Patrick Soko and Chawan Kalimbula tomorrow as they take you into politics. From us, it's until next week, Monday, on the Community Breakfast Show. Good morning.